In today's climate, nothing will make you a more accurate or confident shooter than Crimson Trace laser sighting systems. Get the immediate, decisive advantage of the world's only grip-integrated laser sights today. Shoot better. Stay safer. Crimson Trace.
The number one national voice in defense of your Second Amendment rights. Gun Talk, available on iTunes and on the free Gun Dealio smartphone app for Android and iPhone. To be on the air with Tom, call us now, 866-825-5486 or 1-TOM-TALK-GUN. Now, here's Tom.
All righty, we are with you again. Third hour of Gun Talk and having some fun out here in Colorado. We're at the Centennial Gun Club in Centennial, Colorado, just outside of Denver. Fabulous place. Check it out, centennialgunclub.com. By the way, if you want to save a little money on some pretty cool stuff, be sure to use the Gun Dealio app. You do have that app on your smartphone, right? It's free, of course, for Androids and iPhones. You can go to the exclusives link there. And when you do, and you go to our website, shopguntalk.com, it'll have a link. You can save 10%, or no, it's 15% now. You can save 15% on the hats, the all the other stuff, the DVDs. We've got Conceal Carry 1, Conceal Carry 2, First Person Defender, a lot of cool stuff there. So you can save 15% by doing that. You have to get the Gun Dealio app. Simple as that. Well, in fact, when you walk into a place like this, Centennial Gun Club, I walk in and my phone goes bing, and I get an alert and go, oh, you can save money. Here's the deal. That's what it's all about. All right, we're talking about the election. Obviously, everybody's talking about the election. Is it a mess, or is it actually not quite so bad? What are we looking at? And I know that, boy, people are really divided on this. They're going Trump and Cruz, and, of course, Rubio's gone. Kasich, no. He's not, I don't know why he's there, but he's not really there. So it's basically Trump and Cruz on the Republican side, and it's going to be Hillary. Don't make no mistake, it's going to be Hillary on the other side. So here's the question. For all the Trump supporters, and there are a ton, if Trump is not the nominee, do you walk? And if you walk, what does that do? Does that hand it over to Hillary? Well, let me tell you, one of the guys who knows this stuff forward and backward and really is a good student of this and been around a long time, Alan Gottlieb from the Second Amendment Foundation and the Citizens Committee for the Right to Keep and Bear Arms joins us right now. Hey, Alan, it's quite the crazy season, is it not?
Boy, Tom, it really is crazy. I don't think any of us seen anything like this in our lifetime.
No, not at all. And yet, as we kind of winnow down the Republican side, I mean, do you agree with me? I mean, it's going to be Hillary on the other side, right?
It's clearly going to be Hillary on the other side, and with Hillary, we know what we get. We get the most anti-gun president we probably ever had, even worse than Barack Obama. So we know what we're dealing with there.
And she openly states that the Supreme Court got it wrong on Heller, and they got it wrong on McDonnell, and she would fix that by stacking the court and making sure that they take those cases and undo that. And basically, for those who don't quite understand, at its very core, what we got out of Heller and McDonnell is this, that an individual has a right to own a gun in America, and Hillary Clinton says that's wrong. No, you don't.
That's the bottom line. You're correct.
Okay, so we got that on one side, then we got the Trump-Cruz thing on the other, and we got a lot of new people coming in supporting Trump. And as I was explaining to somebody just yesterday, I said, you need to understand that a lot of his support is not really quite so much that they like Trump, is that they just hate everybody else that's currently in Washington, whether Democrats or Republicans. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But I guess here's my question to you, Alan. As we look at this, one of my great fears is that this has become so partisan within the Republicans that some of the people who support one or the other candidate will not hang with the party, will walk away in the general, thus handing it over to Hillary.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it's so partisan. I just think it's extremely negative, and it's been negative from day one. Even before the campaign started, because everybody's been upset with Congress and everything else. And my concern is I'm really concerned we're going to throw the baby out with the bathwater here. And we all have to come together to beat Hillary. There's no two ways about it. And I'll be honest, Tom, I'm not so sure we're going to be able to pull it back together at this point because we've divided our own ranks so much with so much, negativity and venom, to be candid about it, that I'm not sure you can put the baby back in, or the genie back in the bottle, so to speak. I'm very concerned about it, and gun owners really have to understand that we've got to come together for November, because if we don't, we're going to lose our rights, and that's more important than who wins or loses the election.
One of the things I find, Alan, I talk to people is that, of course, a lot of people don't talk to anybody who doesn't agree with them. So I hear people say, well, Hillary can't possibly win. Any Republican could beat Hillary. And I want to say you're really not talking to a lot of people out there. Maybe you're talking to all your buddies, but I think Hillary has an absolutely excellent chance of winning. Do you?
She's the odds-on favorite right now. Quite frankly, there's no two ways about that. So, I mean, if you're looking at the real polling data, she's looking really good right now. I hate to say it. I mean, her party, while there's some dissension in the ranks, it's not the negativity we're seeing on the Republican side. It's going to be a lot harder in a short period of time to put all our people back together again, or put Humpty Dumpty back on the wall, so to speak. This is really going to be a tough election. I'm very, very concerned about it because, the Supreme Court does hang in the balance. There's no two ways about it. And with the Supreme Court, if it flips 5-4 the other way, because we only won McDonald and Heller on 5-4 decisions. If it flips the other way, the courthouse door is going to be slammed in our face, and we're going to be in very big trouble. I'm also very concerned about controlling the United States Senate, because quite frankly, right now the polling data shows we'd be losing the United States Senate. So I hate to sound downbeat, so to speak, to our people, but what we need to really realize, we have to get out there and work twice as hard right now because the odds are not in our favor in this election cycle.
How do we get our people on board? How do we talk to them? Is there like a simple message that you can tell people?
Well, if you don't win, you don't have power. If you don't have power, you can't put it in your agenda. And if the other side wins, they get the power and they get their agenda. And we know what that is. And we can't tolerate that. We can't allow that to happen. So at this particular point in time, we have to put personalities and people aside, and we have to get out there and vote for the Constitution.
It's funny you say that, because I hear people say, well, I'm going to go third party because I want to send them a message. And I say, well, the message you're sending is you want to lose.
Yeah, we can't divide our ranks at all. If we do, we're guaranteed to lose. So sometimes, the politics is the art of the possible, not the art of the perfect. Mm-hmm. And this election cycle, it's really blurred, to say the least. But we really have to make sure that Hillary Clinton is not elected to that White House.
All right, you've been involved in something out there in the Northwest. It's a lot of things, of course, that the Second Amendment Foundation and Citizens Committee get involved with from an educational or a legislative litigation side. What is the suicide prevention effort that you've been involved with?
Well, this is really an important project we're taking on for the future. And we got legislation passed in the Washington State Legislature almost unanimously. It was unanimous in the Senate, and there's only, I think, 2 dissenting votes in the House, to create a task force to help prevent suicide via education, not gun control. And we were able to put this together, bringing all the suicide prevention experts to the table, along with gun rights advocates, to put together an educational program for firearms retailers and gun ranges so that we could help identify people that might be at risk of suicide and try to keep lethal means out of their hands. And it's not just guns, because we're also looking at prescription drugs as well. We've got the Pharmaceutical Association involved with this as well with this. But, most of us, we're experts about guns, but we're not expert about mental health. And none of us really know what to look for in a lot of the warning signs, for people who might commit suicide. And so we're really trying to work very hard in that area, producing videos, films, educational materials for the general public, as well as firearms retailers and wholesalers. And again, pharmacies as well on the drug side, because firearms aren't the only lethal means. What's important to gun owners in this, aside from the fact that it's the right thing to do, what's really important for us in the debate for gun rights is that, as you're aware, Tom, the majority of homicides in this country are really suicides. And the anti-gunners love to use the homicide statistics to beat us over the head with.
Right.
They don't tell people the majority are suicides. And in Washington State, 80% of gun deaths are actually suicide. And so if we can lower those kinds of numbers, it takes the heat off and the arguments away from the anti-gunners try and push legislation aimed at, interfering with our gun rights.
Well, it does two other things that I can see. It shows the world that we care and that we're involved. It also, the second thing is it gets us a seat at the table so that gun owners and gun rights are there when discussions are being had about how do we reduce suicides. It's not just the anti-gunner sitting there.
Yeah, and of course that's very important as well. And in this case, the anti-gunners are pretty much excluded from the table, which is really important in how we're doing this.
Sweet.
This is not about gun control. And it was amazing we were able to do that and get it passed so overwhelmingly in a sort of a hostile legislature, quite frankly. So I'm kind of excited about it. And it's a public-private partnership with public funds and private funds to help do this. And it's hopefully going to break new ground for the whole country. And it's a model that can be used by other states as well. And, one of the things that's interesting is when you take a look at who commits suicide with firearms, it's not anti-gunners. It's people who own guns. It's returning veterans. It's middle-aged, males. And so it's our own people. So we can try and save our own people's lives without, having any mandated gun control. And I think this is a very important venture for us, and I'm really proud to be part of it.
It is. Alan, can you hold on and stay with us for just a few more minutes?
Sure.
Okay, we'll do that. Let's take a quick break here. We're talking with Alan Gottlieb from the Second Amendment Foundation, SAF.org. I'm Tom Gresham. This is Gun Talk. Be right back.
What makes a legacy? Is it quality? Craftsmanship? Maybe it's the idea that every American deserves their right to security and peace of mind on and off the battlefield. What makes a legacy? Here at Colt, we're making it every day. Colt, built one at a time, proven every round.
In the field or on the range, you need a trigger you can trust. For over 60 years, Timney triggers have been trusted by hunters and shooters everywhere. A Timney trigger could mean the difference between a great shot and a miss. Timney triggers are proudly made in the USA and come with a lifetime warranty. To order, go to timneytriggers.com. That's TIMNEY triggers.com.
The XDM 3.8 Compact from Springfield Armory is 2 guns in 1. Use as your concealed carry gun with a compact magazine and use the extended magazine for home defense. Carry 13 rounds of 9mm in the compact magazine and a whopping 19 rounds in the extended magazine. To see the entire family of Springfield Armory XDM pistols, go to springfieldarmory.com. That's springfieldarmory.com.
The .45 Auto, also known as the 1911, is the standard other defensive pistols are measured against. No matter what pistol you carry, techniques developed around the 1911 are vital. You know you need training, and you know your concealed carry class definitely was not training. Now Gun Talk presents an exciting DVD, Fighting with the 1911 with Tiger McKee. Tiger's unique training style will have you drawing, moving, shooting, and running your gun better, no matter what style pistol you prefer. At ShopGunTalk.com, you can order our DVDs of Tiger's instruction. ShopGunTalk.com also has a 2-DVD set, including Concealed Carry 1. Get both for the information you know you need. This really is life and death. ShopGunTalk.com has DVDs, books, and other essential gear. ShopGunTalk.com. That's ShopGunTalk.com.
You need a good holster. You want something that's comfortable, easy to wear, and both high quality and inexpensive. Check out the Q-Line from CompTac. The Q-Line offers superior quality and comfort, plus a modular design that will fit multiple firearms, saving you time and money. With options for concealed carry or range use, the Q-Line is the quality holster you need. The Q-Line at comp-tac.com.
We're talking with Alan Gottlieb from the Second Amendment Foundation and the Citizens Committee for the Right to Keep and Bear Arms. And Alan, we were talking about the election and such, and of course this fabulous and wonderful idea of let's take ownership of suicide prevention from the standpoint of gun owners, gun stores, basically helping people, but also, at the same time, preventing the useless gun control measures, which often are thrown out there as a way of helping to prevent suicides. Let's do something that's actually effective. That's looking way down the road. That's having long vision, which I got to tell you, you and I have been friends a long time. That's probably the thing that has impressed me the most about what you have done. You have this long vision. If you hadn't been seeding the law journals for 25 or 30 years before Heller and McDonald, we never would have had a Heller and McDonald. So I have to applaud your vision, my friend.
Well, thank you. It's not just me, though. It's the whole Second Amendment Foundation. Part of what we do is to look for the long game, knowing that this battle is going to be around for a long time, and not just looking at what the battle is today, but where it's going to be tomorrow, and trying to frame the issues and frame what's going to happen in the future. That's the best way to protect our rights long term, and that's one of the things that we spend a lot of time doing.
Well, you're playing chess when a lot of people are still playing checkers, so that's a wonderful thing. So what are you working on now? What's SAF up to?
Well, the big thing we're working on right now, both the Second Amendment Foundation and the Citizens Committee for the Right to Keep and Bear Arms, is stopping the confirmation of Judge Garland to the U.S. Supreme Court to fill Anthony Scalia's seat. And that's extremely important. Judge Merrick Garland is extremely anti-gun rights. And he tried to overturn the D.C. Heller verdict by hearing it en banc in the Court of Appeals, stopping it from getting to the Supreme Court. And he's also ruled against the NRA in a lawsuit where they tried to stop the Federal Bureau of Investigation from computerizing and keeping background check records of people who've passed the background check, not the criminals, but the good guys, which basically would create a registration scheme which is not legal. And this judge ruled that it was legal, and he got overturned. But this is the kind of person we don't want in the U.S. Supreme Court, giving us a 5-4 balance in the wrong direction. He's a really bad nominee, and we need to stop him. And that's something we're working on very heavily right now, is to make sure the United States Senate does not confirm Judge Garland to the U.S. Supreme Court. We need to help them maintain a backbone, because I'm starting to hear some rumblings in the Republican Party of, we ought to at least give him a hearing. We ought to at least hear him out. And that's playing right into Obama's hands. Well, it is, and in this particular case, Judge Garland for gun rights is a disaster, and we have to protect gun rights. I don't care about the other issues, quite frankly. I don't necessarily care who they confirm or don't confirm, as long as the person's pro-Second Amendment. Judge Garland is very anti-Second Amendment, and he just is every bit as bad on our issue as any appointment that Hillary Clinton could make. Somebody said that they thought that his nomination was actually just a very clear shot at the Second Amendment. He's basically a weapon designed to go at the Second Amendment. Well, Obama's tried to leave an anti-Second Amendment legacy, gun control legacy, and there's no doubt that the whole gun prohibition lobby is behind Judge Garland, and this is his way of having gun control, succeed after he's long gone, and we can't allow that to happen. Is there anything that individuals can do to help with that? Mainly contact United States senators, particularly the Republicans, obviously, because the Democrats are going to be in lockstep with this administration and this appointment. So we have to make sure that any Republican U.S. senator, your own senator or any other Republican senator, hears from the general public not to confirm Judge Garland. So basically, just let your U.S. senators know, do not confirm Judge Garland, that you're watching them. And frankly, we need to let the Republican Party know, look, if you cave on this one, there's really not much hope for you. I mean, honestly, this is the one chance they have of not being the party that sometimes, they get accused of being, of caving, of not, having a backbone. This is the one chance. I would just, if I had a chance to talk to them, I'd say, here's the deal, guys. If you cave on this one, if you let this go through, you basically have turned your back on the American gun owner. And I think they probably will walk away from you. I think this has a potential for seriously damaging the Republican Party if they let this go through. Most definitely. Sometimes they get accused of caving when it's not really their fault. Caving, they just don't have the 60 votes in the U.S. Senate to stop a filibuster, or they know that President Obama is going to veto legislation they might pass. But this is one that's pretty crystal clear. If you cave on this, you sold out America's gun owners. I like it. It's simple. You have a great way of putting these things in easily understandable phrases. If you cave on this,
you're basically taking action against America's gun owners. It's an action against us. And the Republicans in Senate need to understand that. I need to understand, look, you guys like your jobs? This is it. This is the one issue where we're going to be watching you, and we're going to be scoring you on this one.
Most definitely.
All right, Alan. Well, look, I appreciate your efforts. Please keep us posted on everything that's going on. I know that you're always working on stuff. A lot of things you can't talk about until they kind of move forward, but there is a lot of action in the courts, is there not?
There's an awful lot of action in the courts right now. There's approximately 30 federal lawsuits going on all across the country impacting our Second Amendment rights. Most of them have been filed by us and are pushing our side, and we've got to get some of these cases through the court system where Obama has the courts totally stacked against us, or Hillary Clinton helped stack the courts against us.
Yeah, well, God help us if Hillary gets in, because now we're looking at 20 to 30, maybe 40 years of Supreme Court justices being stacked in there, because what she could do in 8 years, and it's not a 4-year deal. Whoever gets in probably is there for 8 years. Probably going to get to put 3 more people on the Supreme Court, maybe even 4. So we could be looking at 7-2 decisions that, honestly, I don't think, Alan, if you had 30 years of that, I don't think it could be undone. I think the damage would be done. It'd be permanent.
Unfortunately, Tom, I think you're 100% right. I just want to thank you for helping me get the word out. That's why this election is so important and why gun owners have to show up at the polls and defeat Hillary Clinton.
Absolutely. Alan, thank you, my friend. We will talk with you soon. You take care. All right, Alan Gottlieb, Second Amendment Foundation. What he didn't say, and I will say it for him, and this is going to be real simple, those 30, 35 lawsuits, they cost a lot of money. We have to pay a lot of lawyers, and if you're looking for a place to put some money, and if that works for you, I would ask you to consider helping out the Second Amendment Foundation and the Citizens Committee, good organizations. I mean, I always say you need to belong to all of them. Certainly you need to belong to the NRA, but I would put those two right in there too. So there you go. All right, open lines for you now. 866-TALK-GUN. If you'd like to talk about the election, Cruz, Trump, Hillary, what's your take? If you could even possibly stomach it. 866-TALK-GUN.
Gun Talk encourages you to support the local sporting goods store, gun stores, ATV dealers, and other local businesses in your area who advertise on this station and Gun Talk. Only together can we protect our rights. You're listening to Washington Times opinion page regular contributor Tom Gresham.
Just an observation. I'm sitting here. I'm at the Centennial Gun Club in Centennial, Colorado, just outside of Denver. And watching the people walk back and forth. They're having an event here. It's the American Marksman event. If you'd like to participate in that and shoot, because what they're doing, basically, they're trying to find people who will be involved in a reality TV show. It's American Idol with guns. It'd be American Marksman. If you go to ammarksman.com, you can see what I'm talking about. But I'm watching this interesting clientele here. And probably about 50% are women coming by here who are shooting, buying guns, going to the range. Some have like little kids with them. Some have like babies with them, buying stuff. Part of it is that, for those of us who've kind of grown up going to shooting ranges where it was a burn barrel and a porta-john, if you're lucky, or maybe not even a porta-john, a lot of women aren't going to go to those. But you build a place like this, it's kind of like they say, if you build it, they will come. I think they will. Now, yeah, you probably have to have a city of 1 million or more to make an outfit like this go commercially. But here's an interesting stat for you. 80% of the people in America live in a city of 1 million or more. So there you go. I think there is great opportunity for entrepreneurs who want to have really a high-end shooting range gun club. This is, and primarily shooting range. Yeah, then you sell guns if you've got a really good shooting range. It is amazing. It is impressive. and it is a game changer in terms of the demographics of American shooters when you see a place like this. I would encourage you to go take a look at their website. It is CentennialGunClub.com. All right, let's. By the way, if you'd like to be on the line with us here, if you'd like to be on the show, 866-TALK-GUN will get you in, 866-TALK-GUN. We're open lines. If you want to talk about a gun, that's fine. If you want to talk politics, we'll let you have the floor. Chris is called in from Albuquerque. Hello, Chris. You're on Gun Talk.
Oh, hey, how's it going, Tom?
Great. Having fun.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I just wanted to, thank you for bringing this subject up. I don't really hear it enough on most of the radio shows we got down here. It just seems like more and more people are, letting their feelings rule them as far as the polls go. You know, if their guy doesn't get elected, they just want to stay home because, Trump's a risk. I mean, it's like a 50-50 chance. Either you're going to do what he says or, totally fool us all and ruin everything. But, what scares me is when the Trans-Pacific Partnership was going through, like the Republicans gave it a pass because they realized they were going to have a lot of power and they were sure, they were going to win this next election. But hell, if half of us stay home, that's really going to mess us up because that's going to give all that power to the side we don't want to have.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You said something interesting here, Chris, and I'd like for us to touch on it for a second because you said, the thing with Trump, people say, well, I really don't know about Trump. He, could go this way, could go that way. It's like 50%, 50%. And I'm looking at it and saying, well, you may be right. He may be like a 50% deal. But Hillary is 100% bad.
Exactly.
we don't have 100% on our side, probably. I mean, Ted Cruz would be 100% on guns. I don't know that he can pull this off, frankly. I mean, yeah, maybe, okay. I don't know. But frankly, and if he can, great, fine, that's wonderful. Just get that out there. That's great. We would have a real solid Second Amendment guy. But if it's not him, and if it is Trump, people say, yeah, but, maybe it's 50-50 with him. Okay. But if it's 100% bad on the Hillary side, and it's
a chance.
versus a chance. So you're saying there's a chance.
You got to go with the chance.
You got to go with the chance. And not just that, you have to enthusiastically support the chance because the other is a total fail. And I know people they hear us say this, and I'm not sure they're fully understanding. I will tell you, when I just had Michael Bain on here a little while ago. When I talked to him, and I've known Michael for 30 years, maybe 40 years. We've worked together. Never, ever have I seen him this kind of worried. Never have I seen him say, he looks scared. I'm scared. Because if Hillary Clinton gets elected, we've got 8 years of her, probably at least 3 Supreme Court justices, at absolute minimum of 3. So we're in for, and they'll put in young ones. So we're in for 30 years of liberal, left-wing, but not just that, anti-gun. Heller goes away, that's a done deal. McDonald goes away, that's a done deal. The individual right to keep and bear arms goes away. And I want to make sure people understand. I had people say, well, we'll always have the Second Amendment. Well, yeah, you'll have the piece of paper, you'll have the words, but if the courts interpret it as they have, where it doesn't mean that you have a right to keep and bear arms, it may say that, but that actually doesn't apply to you. I sat there at the Emerson case in New Orleans at the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeal, and I heard the government attorneys say, no one in this country has a right to keep and bear arms. And the judges looked and said, what? Are you saying that? He said, no one in this country has a right to own a gun. And they said, well, so you're saying that only a member of the National Guard? He says, no. Even a member of the National Guard doesn't have a right to own a gun. He or she can only have the guns that are issued to him or her, but they don't have a right to actually own a gun. And that was the official government position under Bill Clinton, and it is the official government position under Barack Obama, and it will be under Hillary Clinton, but she will have the means to reverse the Supreme Court decisions on that. That's the thing, Chris. And so What are you hearing when you talk to your friends about this?
Oh, I'm sorry. What was that?
What do you hear when you talk to your friends about this? Are you? Do they understand what's at stake?
Yeah, a lot of them do. Some of them, I don't know. It's like they're hurt. You know, they don't understand why Trump's getting so much support and this. And I just keep reiterating. You got to go for the. You got to if it's a chance, it's better than nothing. You know.
Yeah.
We just can't sit around and let this election pass us like we did the last one. Not enough people liked Romney, so they didn't show up to the polls, and then we got stuck with another 4 years of Obama, and look what that gave us. I mean, it's awful.
There you go, Chris. I thank you for that call, sir. I appreciate that. 866-TALK-GUN. Be right back.
The Black Hills. There's nothing like it on Earth. The kind of place where characters become legends. Wild Bill Hickok, Crazy Horse, Calamity Jane. Pick any part of the world and you'll find people go there to make it their own. But this is where people come to get made. This is the place that made the people who make the best ammo on Earth. Black Hills Ammunition.
You're at a gun store and your phone tells you about hot deals. Want to know about special offers? No problem when you have Gun Dealio, the free app for your smartphone. Gun Dealio delivers the latest deals on guns, ammo, and extras direct to your phone. Don't overpay for your shooting gear. It's Gun Dealio. It's free at the App Store and Google Play. Trigger the deals with Gun Dealio. GunDealio.com.
Hi, this is Joe. I bought a silencer from Silencer Shop, and it was a pretty amazing experience. I simply went to silencershop.com, followed the instructions, purchased my silencer, and they took care of the rest. My local firearm dealer called me when my silencer arrived. Did you know a silencer is an important accessory that offers an added hearing protection and greater shooting accuracy? It's great for hunters and those who want to enjoy more social interaction during shooting sports. Visit silencershop.com to find a silencer for your firearm.
If you're looking for a safe and trusted way to sell your firearms, look no further than Dury's Gun Shop. I trusted them to sell my dad's collection. They built their business for over 50 years on honesty and customer service. Dury's Guns will buy any size collection or estate, none too big or too small. Selling your firearms to Dury's Guns is easy. Go with the pros. I trust Dury's Guns. Dury'sGuns.com.
I'm just as good as these guys. When will I get my chance to prove it?
Your chance is now. American Marksman is a nationwide series of target shooting competitions designed to give you your big break. Think you've got what it takes to go home with $50,000? Visit ammarksman.com to register today. That's ammarksman.com. American Marksman. Are you the one?
All right, back with you. I'm just having so much fun here. Dick Abramson, the owner of Centennial Gun Club, just walked by, put some ammo in my hands here. What do you call this stuff? Shell shock technology. I've never seen brass. It's not brass. It's stainless steel and turned aluminum case. I've never seen anything like this before, Dick. This is incredible. He's handing me this stuff as we're at the break here, getting 85, 87 reloads out of a brass case, 9mm. Stunning. Just, I got to find out more about this. Okay, I'm going to get some more about information from you on this, okay? All right, we'll do that. Let's go talk to Billy. He's in Nevada. Billy, welcome to Gun Talk.
Hey, I just had a question for you about the Smith & Wesson 380. I bought one for my wife, but when we went to the range, she didn't like the trigger pull on it at all. So I was wondering what your thoughts on that was.
All right, let's back up. You bought it for your wife, or she bought it?
She bought it. She liked it.
Okay, but she liked it. Had she shot it?
Yeah, she shot it. We went out and shot it, and the only thing that she didn't like was just how long the trigger pull was on it.
Well, it's a long trigger pull.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of scratching my head and thinking, well, if she didn't like the trigger pull, why? I'm not getting it. Why'd you buy it?
She just likes the size of it, and that she could pull the slide on it. It had the laser on it.
Okay.
She pulled the trigger in the store, but it didn't connect from the store to the range.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I honestly don't know what can be done in terms of a trigger job on the bodyguard. I don't know, honestly. You could ask around at the store you bought it, see if they have somebody around who can do a trigger job on that. What you may end up doing, frankly, is finding a different model, because for some people, they like that long trigger pull, particularly on a defensive gun, and it's not something you're going to blunder into. But other people say, no, I don't want that. I want it to be a nice, crisp, closer to a single action, or at the very least a striker-fired type of trigger pull. My suggestion is this. Is there a range nearby where you can go rent guns and shoot them?
Yes.
I would have her go try 2 or 3 or 4 different guns and shoot them. You would shoot, I'm talking 20, 30 rounds through each gun, and find the one she likes. Because, look, there's nothing wrong with a Smith & Wesson Bodyguard. It's a great pistol.
No.
It's just not right for everybody. It's just that's why we have so many guns out there, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, that's why each of us own so many guns, right? Because this is right for this occasion. This is, it's like I don't have just one golf club or, anything else. So I really honestly think, and I hate to do this because it's probably going to cost you money, but, hey, let me ask you a question, Billy. Do you like the pistol?
I do like the pistol.
Oh, guess what? Billy just got him a pistol. So this is going to be a win-win, partner. You're going to get a pistol, and she's going to get a new pistol. So there you go. Yeah, seriously. No, I'm not kidding. I have her go try, let me see, in that category, Ruger LC9S, Springfield Armory XDS. Let's see. SIG's got several like that. They've got a P238, which is like a little B 1911, and the 380. And it's, if you want a really good trigger pull, it is a little 1911, and it has to be operated that way. And you have to understand that you don't want to blunder into that trigger. But man, that little SIG is a great shooter, and it is small. It's small like the Bodyguard. And again, because it's 380, she can work the slide on it because the spring is not that powerful. If she can get her hands on that, the P238, I'm pretty sure I've got that number right. Have her try one of those, okay?
All right.
All right, good deal. I appreciate that. I'm glad you called. That way you found yourself a new gun. That's always a good thing. Thanks, Billy. It's why we talk. It's why a place like this, Centennial Gun Club, where we're sitting, it's why a place like this is so great. You can come in, you can rent guns. And I know that not everybody has access to a place where they can rent guns. Make an extra effort if you can. Ask, look, is there somebody who has a gun like this, somebody I could borrow a gun from, I could go to the range with them, I could shoot their gun, whatever. Because when you take it out to the range and you put a box of ammo through it, 50 rounds of ammo through it, that's when you're going to find out, oh, I like that gun. I love the way it shoots. Or, the trigger on this kind of pinches my finger. I've actually heard people say, well, it pinches my finger. On the same gun that feels great to me. The way they hold it, the way they put their finger on it, where they put the pad of their finger on it, do they put the point of the finger on it, whatever. Yes, you might be able to overcome those with a particular gun, but the truth of it is there's a gun out there that's going to work for you, and you got to try them out. Try. Rent them if you can. Go to the range with somebody. Do what you can at the very least, or at least sit there, frankly, at the counter and work the slide and shoot with big air quotes around it. Shoot it 50 times, dry fire. If you find that, man, my hand's getting cramped and I'm having trouble pulling this trigger 50 times, then maybe there's an issue there. Just something for you to consider. In Billy's case, it worked out well. I just thought of this. Maybe Billy did this on purpose. He actually wanted that Smith & Wesson Bodyguard. He said, yeah, honey, you need to buy that gun. He just made me smarter than we gave him credit for. Having some fun here at the Centennial Gun Club. Well, we're just watching these people come by here, and it's amazing what a different clientele, a different demographic we have when you have an upscale gun club like this. I would say 80% of people walking by here are either couples or families, not a lot of individuals. This is a place where families go to shoot. Upscale, if you will, country club, clean restrooms, clean facilities, very inviting and warm. I am so impressed. Check it out on the web, centennialgunclub.com. Rod's in Idaho with a 45 question here. Hey, Rod.
Yes, I just had a replacement gun for a Warthog that I had that they quit making. I started messing around with the Warthog. I liked it. I looked at them for a long time, and I got it, and I had a lot of trouble with it, unfortunately. It's that Para Ordnance Warthog, or Para USA, I guess, and then they got bought out by Remington.
Right.
So I went round and round to them for about 4 months, and not round and round with them. They're actually very good, and I just decided, well, I'll just wait. They're going to make new ones, because I sent it in for repairs a couple of times, and they still couldn't get it right. Every time I adjusted the sights, it messed up the slide. It would jam up the slide, and I couldn't pull the trigger, and then to get it apart.
So where are we now?
Anyway,
What's happened?
Well, what I ended up was I sent it back, and they said in February they're going to make new Warthogs, and then they decided they're not going to make them anymore, and Para, I guess, is gone.
Yes, it is.
And so Remington took them over, and they gave me a choice of, I don't know, I came out really good. I mean, I picked out a $1,000 gun, and I had about $800 into the Warthog, so I was happy.
All right.
Because I looked at one of my discount stores of what that particular gun that they gave me was, which was a Remington R1 carry.
Right.
And God, it's such a nice gun. I really love it.
That's great. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I came out really good. It shoots. I'm not a great shot, but I mean, I can keep it on the target 7 to 10 yards because I'm older. But, eyes aren't what they used to be.
I'm familiar with that, yeah. I know.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be 67 this month, so...
Well, so basically, you're happy with what they've done for you, then?
Oh yeah, boy! And this gun shoots amazing. I've never had such a nicer gun. I've got another. It's a commander size, 4.25 inch barrel.
All right. Well, look, listen. I've got to run here, Rod. I appreciate that. I wasn't sure where we're going to go. I'm glad it turned out to be a good story, and Remington took care of you, and they got you the R1. That's a very nice pistol. All right, I appreciate that. All you got to do now is go out and shoot it. Work on the trigger press. Ball and dummy draw. Get you some dummy rounds, mix them in with the live rounds, put them in the magazine, and when you're shooting, it'll go bang, bang, click. And when it goes click, make sure that the sights don't wiggle off the target. If they stay on the target, I'll guarantee you your shots are going to be great. If they're, if you're jerking the trigger, when it goes click, you'll see the sights dip. Yeah, I need to work on that myself. Did a little shooting this morning. Went, out of practice. Been a while since you've been to the range. Well, I'll tell you what. Just here at the Centennial Gun Club, I will tell you I have been so impressed. It reminds me, if you invite people to go shooting, they probably will, especially if you have a nice place to go. If you are an entrepreneur, let me encourage you to look at this idea. There are a lot of cities out there where a place like this would go very well. You can make some money. You can do a lot of good for the gun world, gun rights. You put a lot of families in shooting positions on the range. I tell you, it's a wonderful thing. In the meantime, do your part. Take somebody to the range. Invite them to go out with you. Have a party. Take the kids. Take your friends. And be safe out there. And by the way, join the NRA and make a commitment to vote. See you next week.